Part of how you get through something like this is realizing that the person sat opposite you is not your friend. They're your enemy. They're trying to get a specific outcome. And every word they say is geared towards getting that outcome. This is what she's been building up to. And she's been frustrated in her attempts to steer Sydney Sweeney into this corner. It really does take, for want of a better term, some serious balls to just sit there and say no and not allow it to go in a direction that you don't want it to. Hello and welcome to Off the Party Line with me, your host, Mark Williams. And today I am going to be reacting to the viral GQ interview with the actress Sydney Sweeney. This has gone viral for a lot of different reasons that you will see, but I'm going to start watching this from about the 11 and a bit minute mark where it really starts to get tasty. Sydney Sweeney gives a bit of a masterclass in how to deal with some of these journalists. So without any further ado, let's just get straight into it.
And so I don't really let other people define who I am.
It's a good start. That's obviously a bit of speech from answering a question from just before. But she starts by saying, I don't let other people define who I am. And that is going to be the bedrock on which she builds this. The interviewer is about to feign concern for her. You can see that now.
I'm happy to hear that. I love secondhand concern for you lately.
She's had a lot of secondhand concern for her lately. You're going to see why that is. I am not going to take it on face value that she is really all that concerned. But let's see.
We're sort of talking around this American Eagle ad right now, and maybe we should just talk about it. So were you...
They are not talking around the American Eagle ad. She is. She has spent this whole time building up to the thing that she really wants to talk about. So they're going to talk about it. Probably not because Sydney Sweeney wants to, but because this lady wants to.
surprised by the reaction?
I did a jean ad.
Were you surprised by the reaction? Now, of course, the reaction was very polarized. Anyone who was normal saw an advert for jeans being fronted by a pretty young lady who said, Sydney Sweeney has got good jeans. Haha, lol, jeans, she's pretty, she's wearing jeans. That was the long and the short of the advert, if you missed the controversy. You might be wondering, if you're a normal person, what the controversy was. Well, a certain section of our society decided that she was ushering in the Fourth Reich. Again, you're a normal person thinking, well, how on earth would they have done that? Think along their lines. Think along the lines of how they think, and you might start to get there. And let me be clear, this lady absolutely believes that.
I mean, the reaction definitely was a surprise, but it was, I love jeans. All I wear are jeans. I'm literally in jeans and a t-shirt like every day of my life.
Jeans are uncontroversial. Jeans are awesome.
Are you starting to sense the tone? Are you starting to get how this is working? She's trying to get her to say something, and she's trying to usher her towards it, and she's doing it in a very nice way, and I'll come to that in a second.
Yeah, I like your jeans.
You look great in your jeans. I think I know how you're going to answer this, but I'm going to ask anyway. I mean, the president tweeted about the jeans ad, or Truth Socialed about the jeans ad, and that just seems to me like a very crazy moment for anyone, and I wondered what that was like.
Is she really wondering what that was like?
It was surreal.
It was surreal.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be totally human. I would probably feel like thankful that somebody had my back in public.
Okay. Now, here's where I really want to start breaking this down. It would be totally human to This is a classic interrogation technique. Imagine this woman is not a journalist, but she's a police officer. And this police detective has just got a suspect in a room. They've got, let's say, a murder victim. These are the techniques that they use in that situation. If you've ever watched police interrogation videos, go and watch them. This is exactly what it's like. They'll often bring in a very lovely female detective to speak to people exactly like this. And the tone is exactly the same. Look, we totally understand. It's very normal to stab your wife when she's not picked up the clothes properly, right? I know. So it's fine. If you just admit it, it'll all be fine. And again, this is what this is going to resemble from here on out. And a part of how you get through something like this is realizing that the person sat opposite you is not your friend. In this moment, they're your enemy. They're not concerned for you. They're trying to get a specific outcome. And every move they make and every word they say is geared towards getting that outcome. They weren't talking about the ad. She was. This is what she's been building up to. And she's been frustrated in her attempts to steer Sydney Sweeney into this corner. It really does take, for want of a better term, some serious balls to just sit there and say no and not allow it to go in a direction that you don't want it to.
You know, and conveniently, some very powerful people had my back in public. And I wondered if you felt that way.
I wondered if you felt that way. She's not wondering if she felt that way, right? So remember, the person she's talking about having this young lady's back in public is President Trump, a man who I'm only going to assume this lady loathes. Okay, so what she's basically saying here is, how did you feel having the world's worst avowed Nazi defend you in public? It would only be human to think that that was a good thing, right? She's trying to make Sydney Sweeney admit that she was happy to have a Nazi defend her in public. She's trying to get her to admit that she's a Republican voter or, God forbid, an actual Trump supporter. She's not having any of it.
I don't think that it's not that feeling I didn't have that feeling, but I wasn't thinking of it like that, or like of any of it. I kind of just put my phone away. I was filming every day. I'm filming Euphoria, so I'm working like 16-hour days, and I don't really bring my phone on set, so I work and then I go home and I go to sleep. So I didn't really see a lot of it.
Perfect. She's just not accepting the framing that's being put to her, whether explicitly or implied. And that is absolutely the way to respond to stuff like this.
You've made a really good case for keeping your thoughts and your life separate from that work. But the risk is that, you know, there's a chance that somebody will get some idea about what you think about certain issues.
There's a risk here. There's a risk. What's the risk?
Chance that somebody will get some idea about what you think about certain issues and feel like, I don't want to see Christy because of that. Like, do you worry about that?
No.
No, I don't. I mean, she gives a slightly longer answer, which is perfectly calm and balanced. But again, like, I mean, look at the lady's face, her concerned face.
Think about certain issues and feel like, I don't want to see Christy because of that. Like, do you worry about that?
Do you worry about that? Are you concerned that your extreme far-right views, even if you keep them private, are going to stop people from watching your films? It's quite sinister, isn't it? Like, are you concerned? Isn't it interesting that only perceived, she's not even given her views on anything, but she's being perceived as right-wing. And that's all it needs, a perception of being right-wing. And isn't it interesting that only right-wing people need to be concerned that people aren't going to go and see their artistic endeavors because of their political views? Why is that? Maybe have a think about why that is.
If somebody is closed off because of something they read online to a powerful story like Christy, then I hope something else can open their eyes to being open to art and being open to learning. And I'm not going to be affected by that.
Perfect answer. Perfect answer. She's not getting mad. She's not getting ruffled. She's just saying, if people are closed off to that, That's a bit of a shame, isn't it? But maybe they shouldn't be, and I hope they won't be. She's not defensive. She's not angry. Straightforward. That's how it should be answered.
Yeah. You've come here like really willing to talk about this whole discourse that doesn't have that much to do with you. And
you've been really willing to come and talk about this discourse. I mean, you've really forced it on her. But that was an interesting thing she said. That's not really got anything to do with you. She does not believe that. She absolutely does not believe that all of this furore has got nothing to do with Sydney Sweeney. You can tell in all of her body language and the way she's putting the questions. As I say, very much like a police interrogator. She does not believe that Sydney Sweeney is innocent in all of this. Innocent.
And I'm grateful for that.
Again, police tactic. I'm really thankful that you've been willing to give us your time. Yeah, I've got handcuffs on, mate. What else was I supposed to do?
Is there something that you want to say about the ad itself?
Is there something that you want to say about the ad itself? You can see she's frustrated that she's not been able to use all her skills to tease it out, to tease out the outcome that she wanted. So now she's hitting it more on the nose. Just remember, this is supposed to be a gotcha interview, and the subject is not complying. She is not being got, and the interviewer is getting frustrated.
The Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Do you have...
The ad spoke for itself.
You think the ad spoke for itself?
Yeah.
Okay. And
the ad spoke for itself. Perfect. I love that face, by the way. Watch her face again. Watch Sydney Sweeney's face react to this question.
Do you have...
The ad spoke for itself.
What are you even asking me? It's so disarming, isn't it? That's the way to do it. Just like, why are you asking me such weird questions?
I think the ad spoke for itself.
Yeah.
Okay. And the criticism of the content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like...
So I'm just going to say the whole sentence in a second. Specifically in this political climate. What political climate? The one that you think is in place, or the one that I think is in place? Because I think everyone's got a very different interpretation of what the political climate actually is. And the way you perceive it is probably very different to the way a lot of other people perceive it.
Like, white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like, that was kind of like the criticism, broadly.
That was kind of like the criticism. Not from me, obviously. I mean, I would never dream of criticizing it in that way, because I don't think that white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. And there it is. Make no mistake, she is not putting that to her as a neutral statement. She believes that. This is how this has been framed constantly, and it's an assumption that only makes sense within their worldview framing. And she's trying to get Sweeney to apologize for it. Just think, why is that?
And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk.
Since you are talking about that, she wasn't talking about that, you were. You brought it up. This is all on you. And then we'll play it again. I just want to give you an opportunity.
Criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
Again, with the concerned mumsy face. Since we are talking about that, I just wanted to give you an opportunity. What opportunity are you giving her? I just wanted to give you the opportunity to, admit that you're a racist. I just want to give you the opportunity to get back in my good books and to get back onto the side of the good people. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to disavow what I think was happening in that advert, so that you can come back to the good side. I would hate to see you stay over with the baddies. That would be awful. What's your answer?
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
We should talk about Cassie. You got...
When I have an issue that I want to talk about, people will hear. Essentially, if I want to speak about this, I will. Perfect answer. Calm. Kept herself together. deflected. I know where you're trying to take me here, and I'm not going. So as it turns out, you can just say no to this. You don't have to defend yourself against this mumsy interrogation. You actually can just decline to participate in your own struggle session. And here's a point I really want to make. It is vitally important that she did not defend herself. So many people's natural impulse would be to go, but it wasn't racist. But I'm not a racist. So I'm not a racist, so it couldn't have been. I'm, well, if people thought that it was, then I guess I'm sorry, but it wasn't. And I would, I don't want you to think that of me. As soon as you're defending yourself, you've already lost. The only way through this is you don't entertain it. You just shut it down. You can think what you like. I don't care. Our late Queen Elizabeth had it right when she adopted that motto, I think originally from Disraeli. But never complain, never explain. This journalist, in her very police interrogation, HR style interview, is essentially calling her a racist without calling her a racist. So Sweeney just denies it without denying it. And that's the way. Don't complain. Don't explain. Don't give in. If they want to think something, they're going to think it no matter what you do. Don't take the opportunity to clear the record. Remember, their power comes from their perception that you want and need their approval. They are the all-powerful gatekeepers of how you are perceived. And they can help you if only you'll confess and just admit it. This can all go away if you just help us out. My wife often tells me that I'm almost sociopathically incapable of caring what other people think of me. And in many ways, that is true. But in these instances, that is a very powerful protection. Not caring what people think of you, particularly these kinds of people, is their kryptonite. And that's the moment when the detective, the journalist, whatever, drops the mask, walks out the room, because they're not going to get what they're after. And the thing I want to finish on is that it's vitally important that someone as culturally significant as Sydney Sweeney does something like this. It gives others the model. It gives others the permission, and it gives them the courage to do the same. Guys, this is the way to handle this sort of thing. Learn from it and apply it. If you like this video, please do leave me a nice big like and comment below. Do you agree with me? Are you one of the normies or are you one of the weirdos? Do you think it was really that bad of an ad? Surely it was just a bit of a joke. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.